Oh, you talking about Apple now?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the part of the Apple platform.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, hold on. You Lord,
yeah.
the Apple platform.
Okay. So I know, because I used to work, there was a company right across the street. Very I don't know if it's our clients or they subcontract with our clients, but I see them get this much. And the way we used to reward their employees, we were chosen, like one quarter I was like IT VIP, and so you get like you get a gift card and they give you like so much other stuff and you can choose from a catalog that you can order. And so we do that kind of stuff too for customers that we reward their employees.
So who gives the best thing?
Good question. So we have probably at least three of the top 5 banks, financial institutions on our platform. Of the top 5?
Yeah.
Who knew? I need to talk to you more frequently. You know you have all the data. So do they give y'all internet? We do.
We get Apple. Like a little bit. It's like basically if you walk out the street you can get a better deal on things. But they're working on increasing that, But it's just sort of like, mostly right now we get like a little bit. I don't even think it's the Apple employee discount. They call it an employee discount, but it's sort of like a one-off.
It's not that big.
Yeah.
Was it like
you might as well go and buy it. How much is it? I looked one time and I was like, I might as well just go to the store and buy it.
Right. It's like what's really amazing. People, I don't know, just give up their credit card and what the so
many points.
So much stuff.
Travel.
Well,
you can travel with it now. I mean, because I'm a big point.
We got American Express card, so I was trying to get enough points to go to Hawaii, and I got ready for my son to graduate from school, and we didn't have enough points, so they changed the structure for the
Delta
thing.
No.
And so I was like, okay, I had all these points. I had like 20,000 points, but it wasn't enough to afford it. So I was like, okay, we gotta use some more points. So I went and got an American Express card. Because when you join, you get a sign-up bonus.
Yeah.
You also get money. You get more points. You got to spend so many points or whatever. Then we period 3 months on it. I was really excited. I said, okay, you're going to use American Express to pay tuition. Express pay your going bill. And so this kid wasn't that credit card savvy or whatever, so we couldn't use this for a lot of stuff. So
did you find the water?
I found the water with one small problem.
Yeah, this is from like
yeah.
It's a little cloudy.
I was trying to get to that
point.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Once I got to the point,
I have a girlfriend that does that. I have a girlfriend that used her Amex to just so she can build points.
Right.
And she'll use it, but turn around like go to the grocery store, and go home and pay the bill.
Right.
Like immediately. She just wants the point.
Right. So it's still money,
Yeah, that's what my girlfriend does. And when she told me that, I was like, girl, I'm not that disciplined. Quite a big and that's what she does. As soon as she swipes, she goes home and she'll automatically pay. But she doesn't get her points as well. She does a lot of her travel.
I mean, you're to Australia, you're bottom of and the point to actual currency.
The ratio is like It's not like 1 to 1.
Yeah.
It's like 1 to 100. It's a different arena, but coincidentally, I worked 14 years at Auto and ended up getting laid off when Verizon bought us back in 2008. And so I didn't get laid off until 2009. But going from that company, I went into data. The company I worked for prior to this company was data analytics. We would consumers' data. Our customers were like the American Express, the banks and whatnot, and they would, leverage the data analytics information in order to sell back, items back to their consumers based on their spending habits. So I worked for that company and then merged from that company to this current company because still leveraging consumer data and as it relates to points. I think that was so coincidental how my path has changed. That company taking the data analytics from your usage.
It's okay.
Well, they have to go.
Oh.
Yeah, so data analytics is like the going thing now. Like,
all my stuff is wrong. I don't have my birthday.
so you know that what happens is, most companies, they have a data warehouse, and what they do is they funnel information from different sources, and they cross-reference it, and they store it that way. So it's not necessarily coming from one means, but various means. And what happens is they go and they say, oh, this address looks similar to this address, and therefore this is the same person.
State.
The spelling of this name, my name is spelled with 2
State
C's.
is officially now
one C. Oh,
minority service.
that might be the same person. I had that issue
You got
because
brown
my name is
kids
spelled
and white
just like the news anchor.
Asian
Or
kids.
my name is the same as the news anchor, but her name is spelled with 1 C.
A lot of potential.
And so we would get cross-reference with our data analytics. That was funny because when she was in South Carolina, I used to always get stuff, and I was like, how am I getting this stuff? It was just because of our names and the spelling, and the data analytics was just cross-referencing us because the C's got dropped. So I thought that was interesting.
So I remember we were doing that as well. They actually call it washing the data. Washing data. They would try to do is they use one-to-one fields to make comparisons. And they would be wrong with some of the information within that address possibly. Depending on how sensitive information you want to get. You're right, the comparison. Because you can actually pull up a database with almost a repetitive data of the same person that you just don't.
Yep.
It's not important at all.
Yep.
A lot of times we also had a group, and depending upon where that information should have originated
Got an open
from,
bar down the hall.
we would actually talk about that being the source of truth by actually going to asking no. Kind of literally saying,
No, that's
person, that person, the same person.
Yeah.
I saw.
So when it
networking.
came,
I thought networking.
what was that, about 3 or 4 years ago?
Breaking network with it, I know next time.
In the news when they were talking about people data, stealing your data because it was coming from, your credit cards or when you register for a sweepstake. So our company tried to go out and say, hey, we're capturing your data. Do you want to validate your data or do you want us to store it? We gave you that opportunity to go in and say, no, we don't want you to store our data, take your data. Because they were trying to get ahead of all the, that were starting to, derive from people getting data. Now it's one of the most popular things going now. So you're not seeing or hearing more about that nowadays as you did a few years ago.
Alright, well, I guess kind of get started with, the discussion. One is kind of maybe lead today. So today is a lot more informal. So I kind of have, so in theme with Women's History Month, I have a couple maybe quick videos to maybe check out and then see, I guess, where the discussion goes on that. But thank you all for coming. My name is Shanika Ward. I serve on the board for BDPA on the Atlanta chapter. But yeah, thank you all. So next meeting, so every third Wednesday is when meetings are expected, typically. But I would say if you haven't received an email or or don't see an update on the website, then there probably isn't one scheduled. So just keep a lookout for emails or the website being updated. But right now it's planned for April 18th, so the third Wednesday of April. So, all right, and just a quick reminder: if you are interested in being a member, your membership dues go towards the programs that we sponsor. So one of the main programs that we're behind is the high school coding camp, and currently that is ongoing. It started, I believe, back in January, and it'll be going on until August. And this is mainly to prepare students for the competition that happens at the national conference. So years prior, the Atlanta team has placed in this competition, and placing and winning in this competition also gives the students scholarships, and I think the year prior they received laptops. So these things kind of will definitely help with college. So that's one of the programs that we definitely need sponsorship from. So that's one way to give back. So encourage your membership. So I actually do like the Kahoot game that we did last time. So let me join this really quick, and then you guys can try to pull it up with your phone if you're interested.
Is it Wi-Fi here?
Wi-Fi. I can give you one that's used temporarily. So, State Farm Get.
It's got one here. I think this might work. It says SF personal Wi-Fi.
Not sure about that one. I never use it, so.
Okay, okay.
The State Farm Get says no internet.
If it isn't coming up, then maybe no Wi-Fi. But State Farm Gets, like, if you click on it, then you'll have to go to the login screen.
Oh, okay.
And these are the credentials.
Oh, I see it now. So put that in for the username?
Yeah. Username, password.
So is that
SST?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the T. Sorry, I messed up. When I was saying my T, I started doing it wrong.
Is there a dot in front of the N's? Am I? Okay.
Let me get the ID. Alright, so on your phones, go to kahoot.it.
Oh man.
Everyone good to go?
Um, I wish I could say that. Just didn't work for me the first time.
HSTC1.
Yes.
So what if I want to pick a new name?
Maybe you have to close
Huh?
your tab and try entering the game pin again. I would assume.
I do it next time.
The website is
Yeah. KAHOOT.IT. Let me enter this pin.
Dang. Must be this.
Yeah.
So, no one had any problems?
That's it. I think we're waiting for the game.
I gave up. I did it twice. It was a lot to type in, and then it just went away.
Oh, okay.
It's not authenticated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not working.
Montgomery?
And it's what?
I mean, because your username, that doesn't matter as far as the whether it's caps or not, right? So that should not.
It shouldn't be caps. That's I guess just how I write.
Well, for the username, I don't think it matters whether it's case sensitive or not. But
I hope not, because
That I don't know.
I just typed it in, but it didn't type it in.
but what should be case sensitive is definitely a password.
Yeah.
That's the Wi-Fi right there.
I didn't touch the pass. Is the password uppercase BDPA?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't
Yeah,
do
those are
that.
all caps.
Did you
All
get
caps.
it?
No, I didn't get
Oh,
it.
okay. Well, I won't bother typing it in.
I'm just not cheating.
All right. Well, I guess so. Did you still want to join the game with just like the mobile data or?
Well, I think. Let me see how much data I got left on mine.
Do you know what the pin was for that game we played last time, the Black History? I want to have my kids play that.
I can probably have a link, and maybe I can like. So I think the presentation I can probably post a link to it because I did it on Google Drive. I can post it on the website, and then I can put the link to the Black History Month one.
I reached out to, I don't know, somebody to try to get in the BDPA group, but I don't think it's been accepted.
Group with where? Facebook? Hmm? Like if it's Facebook, then maybe not. I know for LinkedIn, I'll have to see. Yeah, I'll have to check in on that group. Like definitely the website and I guess meetup.com. There's definitely eyes on that. But for LinkedIn and Facebook, I don't know if there's direct eyes in those.
Okay, let me try it. Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get an email for last month's meeting. I did get an email for this month's meeting. I didn't receive it.
You didn't receive one? So for that, I'll have to ask. I'm not sure if an official email came. I know definitely Meetup was updated, but I'm not sure like an official email came.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe want to team up with someone and collaborate.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and sign in. So what website is this? To go to?
KAHOOT.
Oh, good. Okay, .it. Okay.
So if I put this pin number in, I can play. We can play at home.
I'm not sure. Like I'm kind of thinking like when you click on the game, it generates a pin each time.
Oh, okay.
But so this link that's for this game, I have it in the presentation, so I can just put a link to that.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'm in.
Alright, I think like zoomed in a bit. Oh, I guess okay. Alright, well let's get started. So, okay. Why is it like this?
This is my favorite category.
Alright, feel better. So I guess who is this woman? So it's all around different races.
Oh. Oh.
My phone.
My phone's still spinning.
Everyone ready?
I answered it.
There's 7.
I got 7 out. Everybody got that one.
Alright, good.
All right.
Oh, you beat me.
Who is this?
Oh, come on.
I can't answer it.
You didn't click fast enough. I knew I clicked it. Click it twice.
It's still out.
Oh. I had no idea.
I'm taking somebody's car.
Oh yeah? Maybe it's a trick question.
Oh, hell. I'm sorry, excuse me. I apologize. Oh, man. It was given away. Man.
Might be a trick, though. I don't know. Might be a trick.
Okay, it wasn't a trick.
Darn
You
it.
trick somebody.
Man.
Man, where am I? I'm all the way.
I plugged it in. It didn't even accept my answer. I kept plugging it in too.
Oh.
What?
Who got it right?
You got it right?
Oh.
Nice.
I got this.
Eleanor Roosevelt.
Pick one.
Yes.
6 ways. God.
Who is that?
Frida Kahlo? She's an artist. Like she
Artist.
did paint.
Okay.
Pick these questions.
No. But I recognize some of them. Well, she's like the only one I recognize actually, so.
Isn't this lady a writer?
shoot. I'm gonna assume it's a typewriter, but other than that.
Going too fast to Google Answer. I need 2 phones.
Oh man.
I keep plugging in the number and it just it doesn't accept my. Well, never mind. I don't know what the problem is.
Catching up. I'm in the hunt. Don't get nervous over there. Oh, I got this.
Were you too fast?
I want to change my answer, but it's too late.
Wait, I know this. Why isn't it doing it?
Oh snap! I got it wrong. Oh my god!
Like, hold on, I know her. She's from my state. I mean, well, you know, claim her.
Man, I hit too fast. Okay, Mr. Nesbitt.
Oh shoot, I know who this is. My bad.
Oh.
My bad. My bad.
I guess that was pretty fast. Or everyone answered. I don't know. Maybe because everyone answered.
Yeah, I'm like this. Hey, Mrs. Mo. Oh, got it.
Are you
Who
curious?
was it?
Jane Goodell. Hey, I done dropped.
That's not what it's in there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Man, should have took my time.
Joan the Great.
She went with that one.
Yep.
Dang.
Oh, that's not
Okay, oh, 2 minutes.
I can't even select anything. It never gave me the screen.
Princess Fergie? Is that Princess Fergie? I think it's a trick.
Mine's stuck.
Oh, it's stuck.
Now I'm taking somebody's card and think it's this one wrong.
He said the incorrect and never gave me the choice to choose a choice.
I should have started getting the wrong on purpose to troll y'all.
Dang.
I was on the left.
Must be my phone.
Alright, but yeah, a link to this will be in the presentation, and I can put this on the website. Yeah, I thought this is pretty interesting. I like this little game.
I do too.
I don't know where I'm at. I guess
Who's SDW?
Me.
Oh, good job.
And 2 of those answers, I kept hitting it and it didn't accept it.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah,
like,
me too.
what's wrong with this thing here?
Yeah.
You download the app.
I got 3 questions I couldn't even answer.
You gonna play another round? I'm download the app now. I'm ready now.
I have to look for another one or something. But okay, so I guess we'll go to like the first video. So I was just looking out for some women's history videos. So saw this one, and for the most part, these are all pretty quick. I don't know. I do think this has an ad though, so so, let me find.
I learned something. So.
His ads.
I'm not just a girl. I have big ideas. I'm going to be a doctor. I am fearless. I want to heal the sick. I'm going to make a difference. I want to tell stories. I love adventure. I have compassion. I can do anything I want to do. I am a trailblazer. I want to discover new things. I want to create change. I believe in justice. I want to explore the universe. I want to fly. I want to do something no one else has ever done. I believe girls can do anything. I want to change the world. I'm going to make history. This is history.
Okay, so.
Never mind. I was going to ask a question.
Oh, go ahead.
So, Shirley Chisholm, what state does she represent?
No. I don't want to say Illinois or Mississippi.
I don't know.
Guess what? Good old Google will tell us, hold on.
Florida for some reason. I don't know why.
No, I want to say Illinois or,
My guess.
for whatever reason, I want to say Illinois. New York.
Did?
New York. 12th
Oh, wow.
district.
Oh, okay. That's cool. And it was 1968 when she ran for president, wasn't it? Or was it 72?
72.
When you think about that attempt for someone who's a female and black, that was really going down a trail that didn't even have rocks in the trail.
Yeah.
It was still growing grass at the time. You know?
Exactly.
There was no trail.
There was no trail. It was like. Yeah, but she definitely. I was young, but I remember just telling myself, I mean, I was wise enough to understand that wasn't, she wasn't going to win anything like that. But as I got older, I realized what she was really attempting to do, and that was just to create a platform where some things that she felt good about, felt strong about, could not only possibly be heard, but on top of that, open up the eyes of other people who would follow behind it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think the other video. So has everyone seen this? This Golden Globe? You haven't seen? Okay, cool.
I didn't see it.
I just know it was powerful, so
Yeah, it was powerful.
Let's watch it.
I was like, come on.
1 second.
Everybody should have went and Googled this after it aired.
I heard this.
I heard it was strong.
It was amazing.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Reese. In 1964, I was a little girl sitting on the linoleum floor of my mother's house in Milwaukee, watching Anne Bancroft present the Oscar for Best Actor
at the 36th Academy Awards. She opened the envelope and said 5 words that literally made history. The winner is Sidney Poitier. Up to the stage came the most elegant man I had ever seen. I remember his tie was white, and of course his skin was black, and I'd never seen a black man being celebrated like that. And I have tried many, many, many times to explain what a moment like that means to a little girl, a kid watching from the cheap seats as my mom came through the door, bone-tired from cleaning other people's houses. But all I can do is quote and say that the explanation in Sidney's performance in Lilies of the Field, amen, 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 amen. In 1982, Sidney received the Cecil B. DeMille Award right here at the Golden Globes, and it is not lost on me that at this moment, there are some little girls watching as I become the first black woman to be given the same award. It is an honor. It is an honor, and it is a privilege to share the evening with all of them, and also with the incredible men and women who've inspired me, who've challenged me, who've sustained me, and made my journey to this stage possible. Dennis Swanson, who took a chance on me for AM Chicago. Quincy Jones, who saw me on that show and said to Steven Spielberg, yes, she is Sophia in The Color Purple. Gail, who's been the definition of what a friend is, and Stedman, who's been my rock, just a few to name. I'd like to thank the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, because we all know that the press is under siege these days. But we also know that it is the insatiable dedication to uncovering the absolute truth that keeps us from turning a blind eye to corruption and to injustice. To tyrants and victims and secrets and lies. I want to say that I value the press more than ever before as we try to navigate these complicated times, which brings me to this. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we all have. And I'm especially proud and inspired by all the women who have felt strong enough and empowered enough to speak up and share their personal stories. Each of us in this room are celebrated because of the stories that we tell. And this year, we became the story. But it's not just a story affecting the entertainment industry. It's one that transcends any culture, geography, race, religion, politics, or workplace. So I want tonight to express gratitude to all the women who have endured years of abuse and assault because they, like my mother, had children to feed and bills to pay and dreams to pursue. They're the women whose names we'll never know. They are domestic workers and farm workers. They are working in factories, and they work in restaurants, and they're in academia and engineering and medicine and science. They're part of the world of tech and politics and business. There are athletes in the Olympics, and there are soldiers in the military. And there's someone else, Recy Taylor. A name I know, and I think you should know too. In 1944, Recy Taylor was a young wife and a mother. She was just walking home from a church service. She'd attended in Abbeville, Alabama, when she was abducted by 6 armed white men, raped and left blindfolded by the side of the road, coming home from church. They threatened to kill her if she ever told anyone. But her story was reported to the NAACP, where a young worker by the name of Rosa Parks became the lead investigator on her case. And together, they sought justice. But justice wasn't an option in the era of Jim Crow. The men who tried to destroy her were never persecuted. Recy Taylor died 10 days ago, just shy of her 98th birthday. She lived, as we all have lived, too many years in a culture broken by brutally powerful men. For too long, women have not been heard or believed if they dared to speak their truth to the power of those men. But their time is up. Their time is up. Their time is up. And I just hope that Recy Taylor died knowing that her truth, like the truth of so many other women who were tormented in those years, and even now tormented, goes marching on. It was somewhere in Rosa Parks' heart almost 11 years later when she made the decision to stay seated on that bus in Montgomery. And it's here with every woman who chooses to say, "Me too." And every man who chooses to listen. In my career, what I've always tried my best to do, whether on television or through film, is to say something about how men and women really behave, to say how we experience shame, how we love and how we rage, how we fail, how we retreat, persevere, and how we overcome. I've interviewed and portrayed people who withstood some of the ugliest things life can throw at you, but the one quality all of them seem to share is an ability to maintain hope for a brighter morning, even during our darkest nights. So I want all the girls watching here and now to know that a new day is on the horizon. And when that new day finally dawns, it will be because of a lot of magnificent women, many of whom are right here in this room tonight, and some pretty phenomenal men fighting hard to make sure that they become the leaders who take us to the time when nobody ever has to say, "Me too," again. Thank you.
Alright, so for those seeing it for the first time, and I guess in combination with all the other things that we were looking at so far today, like I guess when you think of women's history, what do you, what are some things that come to your mind?
Those Wakandan women on Black Panther, they was real.
So women's history is real. Yeah.
Black Panther, seriously.
Yeah.
On a serious note, I mean, just all of the great inventions, Henrietta Lacks, what's her name, who did the laser, invent the laser. There's so many inventions behind, especially black women, that a lot of people don't know about that they created. And so I think that's what comes to mind, to be honestly, and kind of what they went through, and how, to this day they still don't get the recognition that they deserve, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think I heard about the laser invention recently, and I still don't have the name to mind.
Caller ID, that was a black woman. I'm trying to think of it. There's many Many secret inventions. Yeah,
I can see why we came up with that.
yeah, exactly. Of course, man. I'm getting busted. Look at that.
I came up with GPS too.
You know, thinking about it, I believe so. You know, like seriously, Hidden Figures, which was a phenomenal movie. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Stuff, yeah, things like that. Keep going.
When I think about it, I think about resilience and passion. I mean, from women, you know, just in general. I think it goes to show that we didn't give up to our position. How many, you know, it wouldn't be women in IT, you know. It's things of that magnitude that makes me think, you know, we were resilient to keep striving to, you know, not just be a part of society, but to just, you know, to make our mark or our stamp in society.
I would say that watching that and the speech that she gave, and the fact that the it a movement has actually shaped up, and so I think for this moment that we're talking about, um, it's going. It has a place, I think, in history right now um, because of the idea that women are now feeling more bolder. Maybe that's not the right word, but they feel less fearful of speaking up, and how that can shape a changing culture. So some of what I kind of took from that was that first you had a culture of silence or just keeping it to yourself, and now you got a kind of moving away from that. So you got and even though we're seeing what took place, beginning with the guy Harvey Weinstein for what he had done, and I hate to expose someone of our own race, but what happened with Bill Cosby was, in my opinion, um, not a good thing at all. Um, I know a lot of people, when I talk, some people still think that a lot of those women only came forward for the money. And I said, I cannot go that far. You don't count that many women and think that everyone's in there got money on their mind. So, and I had a conversation with a friend of mine, a female friend, who actually believed that all those women were only in it for the money. And I said, so you think that all those women are who have nothing to gain, statute of limitations don't allow them to get any money, and they're speaking up because they're chasing dollar? I mean, I said, you gotta give them more credit than that. so so that change in that attitude, wanting to be able to say something, speak on something, it's not just what we're seeing on television. You can see it in the workplace as well, which is big. I think that is tremendously difficult for a lot of women to have actually tried to make their way in a corporate environment and not somehow be subjected to the harassment that sometimes comes into play, that came into play, or some of the women who actually did make it, who actually did try to navigate in that tough waters, because corporate America can be tough. So I think I think that not only from her speech, but for the moment in time, I just think that it's a change now for a different voice to be able to just put it out there as opposed to keeping it hidden. That's how I kind of saw a lot of it anyway.
Yeah, like I guess with the whole Me Too thing, like I only know about like all the Hollywood stuff that they talk about. So I wonder for other industries, like what kind of Me Too kind of causes are happening there. Like what transitions will we see next couple of years?
It might change because I remember when that was all these when the Anita Hill, all that was going on. That changed corporate America and sexual harassment, and before that, I don't know. Anybody know what sexual harassment was?
She was jumped on horrible, man. She took a beating.
Badly, but
yes.
She was like the Me Too of sexual harassment, I guess.
You could say that, yeah.
She was the first one that gave credence to all of that.
But they went to war against her.
Yeah, they still made him a judge.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think with that definitely there's plenty of like honestly with Bill Cosby was a reflection of that entire culture. It wasn't just him.
That's
all
my
the men
point.
do it, right?
Exactly.
They ran the smear campaign.
Right.
But I still watch the Cosby film. I did when I original episode. I'm gonna keep watching it because they're all like doing that, and so I commend all of them for stepping up. I do think though too when it comes to the workplace now, it's gonna cause even for the well-intended men, like it's gonna cause everybody to be extra careful now, like because then you get these you got a workplace relationship going on of some sort. And then now she gets to feeling some kind of way, or something happens where whatever you don't like me now, he likes her. Now I'm gonna run this. It can be sabotage too. So you just gotta be careful with it now. And I think it's just gonna cause men in general to just be extra careful now.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're saying is that there's going to be, for all the good that can come out of it, there's going to be some scenarios where it could be. Where there could be some abuse of the good,
absolutely.
Or to some degree it could be advantageous for someone to actually go down a path that really wasn't in line with the idea of being able to protect themselves against harassment, and they take advantage of that situation. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That could happen.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, just people in general have to be more careful, but. I mean, with every advancement, there's always some some pros and cons. But in the end, if it was worth the objective of what they were trying to achieve, which is, in my opinion, I think women get a bigger voice and a well-deserved voice when it comes to corporate America and when it just comes to the world. Because without, let's face it, without women, we wouldn't be here. I think the men need the women need the men. You can't have one without the other. And so,
one of the things that though is part of I think one of the things that goes with that is the challenge to try to move forward beyond that emotional attack, because some of that can be extremely difficult for a person from an emotional standpoint, depending upon the severity of the attack itself and how they can respond to that. So I think what the good in it is you're trying to get to a point where that no one is subjected to it, because it's a certain kind of abuse, it's a certain kind of assault, and that kind of assault is for the human psyche. It could be pretty tough to move forward. I mean, not some people. I mean, you would want to think that people can move forward, but the idea of the assault itself is something that requires the person to now figure out how to move forward, and that by itself becomes is a challenge for that person in itself. So if you can remove the assault from ever taking place, or that people are being more conscientious of it, then the person can live with just moving, live life as they should be. What should be, what is right and what is normal is the way you're supposed to live. Even though we don't live in a world like that, but.
No, exactly. Especially when you look at Hollywood. Look, woman, man, cat, or dog. If you're gonna join Hollywood, you gotta go through that whole initiation process. So whatever they have you do, or you have to do this or sleep with that, I don't care who you are. Well, because you hear Terry Crews speaking of,
a guy.
A guy. You see what I mean? So that's that. I used to live out in California for 4 years, so I know some of that. Like I've met some people, and like, yeah, you see some crazy stuff, and it's like almost like being in the club or being in the sorority or whatever, and in order to become part of that, or if you want this that bad, or like you talk about how Kanye sold his soul. Like there's certain things you have to do, Yeah, that's what they talk about. Well, they talk about when he signed with Rockefeller, all this stuff. But there's all this behind the scenes, and they was talking about him going crazy and all that, But no, you have to become part of that. You have to do certain things and accept certain things if you want to be in, so to speak. Just kind of like in.
But isn't that part of what they're trying to remove from?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. So that's breaking all of that.
There you go.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yep.
Right, exactly. And you're right, because there may be some people's careers who never really got exposed because they couldn't go down that road for themselves. Or they did, but they just couldn't recover from it, for example.
Or they just said, forget it, I'm not doing that, and they went and got a job.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, and that's how you get like some of these famous artists is like they had one or two hits and then they disappeared. But if you go dig deeper into the story, it's like, okay, well, the record company wanted me to do all these crazy things, and really wanted to make it to where they making all the money, I'm starving. So you think, oh, what happened? Why were they a one-hit wonder? There's normally stories behind that, and they refuse to kind of like go do all that extra stuff that would cause them to like completely sell out. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, that's how I kind of grasp it. Man. I think that if you're talking about a change in culture, I mean, even when we talk about politics now, no one can. I hate to sound like this the way I'm saying, but no one can convince me of the two things that I think are impacting American society and its culture right now. Number one, that crazy ass Donald Trump. I don't. I mean, he is redefining the very idea, and not just him, but the fact that people are that he's got people who accept him and think that what he is good for this country. When I don't know how people can come to that place in their own mindset. And I say that regardless. I say it not knowing whether anybody voted for him in this room.
I assume that people that agree with how he should be are like he is.
Say it again.
I assume that those people think that it's okay that he talks like that and feels that way or like that too.
Yeah.
They think that's good for the country, then they must think it's okay what he does and says.
It'll be a long 7 years.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
But even I just mentioned him, but I'm really making the case that the culture is changing, and I would ask this question: Is the culture being redefined because the nature of times itself suggests that society does evolve, but is it being changed because of social media? Is that more or less probably the linchpin?
I don't think it's just social media. I think it's media in general.
In general.
I think that we're more open. A lot more information is being published than it did 30, 40 years ago. What they used to be afraid to report on, they're no longer afraid of. And I think it's just the way we're evolving. It's more information. Try to get as much information or give as much information